Hello, this is my name is Monica Garcia. This is my wife Sam.
Hello.
We're going to be doing a video about aging parents, and here we go. All right, good afternoon. My name is Monica, and I am a student social worker. I am a student of social work at Tarleton University, and I wanted to get your permission to record you for my teacher to see. He's gonna view it.
Oh, that's
Is
fine.
that okay?
Yes, that's
It's for an
fine.
assignment.
Yes, that's okay with me.
All right, great. I just wanted to tell you today about. I wanted to talk to you today about why your situation, why you came in, and also to let you know that this is a safe space. Anything that you say or do stays here. It's between you and I. Confidentiality is very important, but unless you say something like you're gonna, you want to harm yourself or others or anything like that, I will have to disclose that information to my teacher.
I
Okay.
understand. Yes.
Um, Other than that, everything stays here. So I want you to feel comfortable to say whatever you need to say. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with you telling me a little bit about yourself and why you're here.
Well, it was nice to meet you. My name is Samantha. Um, I'm a full-time worker. I'm assistant manager at the UPS store.
Okay.
I'm also married. I have a wife. We've been together for 20 years. I've been, for over 20 years. Life's been getting stressful more and more. Health issues are coming up. My wife's got some health issues going on, but also as my mother's aging, she's having more health issues. I do have an older brother. It's just me and him. However, he doesn't live here in Waco. He lives in another town. Don't get much help from him with her. He just calls and talks to her, but as far as like taking her appointments or anything like that, I'm the one that always does it. Or my wife, will help out, or sometimes my aunt will help, take her. Um, she's forgetting. She doesn't have Alzheimer's. She doesn't have dementia. It does run in our family on both sides, but she does have white matter, which makes her repeat herself a lot. She still knows who everybody is. That's not what her problem is. Just like she doesn't remember what question she asked, or she'll continue to ask like the same question like all day long, even though she's already asked it. She doesn't really cook for herself anymore because she stays with my sister. I mean my aunt, which is her baby sister, and my aunt normally does all the cooking, for her. So that's kind of like getting, she wants to live by herself, but I don't think it's a good idea. My aunt doesn't think it's a good idea for her to live by herself, but she wants to be by herself. My dad had passed away 9 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been tough on her, they
tough.
were, yeah.
Has it been tough on you too?
Yeah, it has, but especially her because they were. I mean, wherever they went, they always went together. They never went by themselves, even out of town. I mean, me and my wife have like our own girl nights or whatever, separate with our own friends, but they never did that. They were always together.
Yeah.
And now that he's gone, and he did pretty much everything for her. He paid the bills. She worked, they both worked, but, going to the store, paying the bills, my dad took care of all that.
So
Yeah. So,
sounds like you've got a lot going on. What I'm hearing is, your work, working at UPS is pretty stressful in itself.
yes, it is.
Then you've got me, your wife,
Mhm.
that has
Health issues.
mental health issues, physical issues, um, and now your mom
Mhm.
has memory issues. But what I heard was that she has not been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia. You said white matter.
It's white matter.
Okay, so tell me a little bit what is white matter?
So it's the same. It's in the same family as dementia. It's just where your brain starts developing this white mass around it, which causes cognitive. They said it's just with aging as well, but it's just a cognitive impairment that happens as you get older.
So she forgets.
So she forgets. Yeah,
She
she repeats
forgets a lot.
herself. Like she'll ask, like, "Do I work?" Like if like when I'm hanging out with her, and she'll ask me like if it's during the week, she'll ask me, "Do I work Saturday?" She'll ask me that like 50 times almost, I guess. Maybe not as much, but. And then sometimes she'll say, "Oh, yeah, did I ask you that already?" Like she kind of does remember, but she doesn't remember the answer. Now, her medication, too, that's another thing we worry about because she's real good about taking her morning medication and her night medication, but not her vitamins. And sometimes she does miss her night, but even we try to set reminders on her phone, but she just, instead of taking it right away, she just snoozes it, says, "I'll take it later," and then she never takes it.
Okay, so let me see if I've got this right. You said, like I said, you work at UPS, you have a wife, your mother's having some memory loss issues. She's pretty much a forgetful situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you said she lives with your aunt,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
she doesn't live with you.
Yeah.
Um, and she forgets to eat, forgets to take her medications. Yeah. Not all the time, but sometimes she has to set a reminder, but then she switches it off. Okay.
It's like if food is not like the cooking thing. If nobody cooks for her, she won't eat. She says she eats, but then she doesn't know what she eats, or she'll just snack on like she'll coffee and something sweet, and that's her breakfast, or lunch, coffee or something sweet because she loves coffee and she loves sweets. Mm-hmm. You know that she doesn't forget to eat. You know, but you know.
So just, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. It's just very. It's taken a toll on me, you know, and luckily, you know, I do have my aunt who recently told me that she's able now to help with appointments. So if I can't take her, you know, it's that I have, you know, her, you know. But I mean, I can't get no help from my brother, you know. I mean, like she just had eye surgery instead of trying to make time to come down. I mean, I know it's not like a big surgery, but I mean, it's your mom, you know. Right. You should try to come and stuff like that, you know, make time for her, you know. But you know, but I mean, I can't force him to do anything, and you know, at the end, he's going to be the one that regrets it for not spending that time with her, and not, you know, doing that when she's not here anymore. She tells me that she doesn't even feel like, cause she doesn't even see her nieces either because they live, you know, over there in Dallas. But she says that
her grandchildren.
Her grandchildren. I'm sorry, my nieces. Her grandchildren. Yeah. And she'll say that. I was like, "Mom, how come you don't want to go spend this time?" She's like, I don't know what to say. And that's sad because that's her son and her grandchildren. You don't know how to have a conversation with them. And I don't blame her. I mean, partially it is her fault because she doesn't reach out to him like she should. You know, she has that opportunity to do that, but you know, she says that she forgets or she don't know what to say. You know, and I've told my brother this how she feels, and he's still just.
How does it make? How do you feel about that? You know that you don't. I mean, it sounds like you have a support system. I heard that your aunt helps. You know, she lives with your aunt, so that's a lot of support right there. And I know that they lived in Robinson before. Yeah. With Granny.
Yeah.
And so after that, she sold her house, and then her and Granny moved over here to Granny's house, right. And then Granny passed away, right?
Yeah.
What did that look like for your mom?
Oh, she was devastated because again, my mom and my grandma were always together. My mom was my grandma's provider, so when my dad passed away, it helped my grandma being there every day. But now that she's not there either, so she feels more lonely now, you know. And I'm glad I do have my aunt and stuff, you know, and I appreciate that. At the same time, like I don't. it's not her responsibility. She already took care of her
Right.
parents, you know, and you know, I should have that support from my brother, but you know,
Okay. So let me ask you this: what would it look like if you got your mom some help, like
so mm,
maybe some? I mean, I can't really suggest anything for you, but what would it look like I mean,
well,
because
mhm,
you know, it sounds like you're really stressful and
yeah,
you might be at a point where you all need some help with her.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, the options I was thinking is I mean, she's mentioned herself like maybe like assistant living. I'm not gonna put her in a nursing home, but like assistant living place or have a provider. You know, somebody that's you know that can be with her during the day. Because my aunt will be with her at night. You know, somebody that can make sure she's you know she needs to be exercising. You know, she says she does get her steps, like she'll walk around or whatever, but she needs to be doing like just little exercises. The way they did with my grandma, the grandma people come in and do there's a provider and do their exercises. I mean, I think that's what because right now I mean, I would love to put her in assisted living because that's what she would want, and I think she would enjoy it because there's other older people. They have bingo night, and she'd be there every night. You know that.
yeah.
You know they have little community get-togethers, and that's another thing. She doesn't have friends
Mhm.
because again, and it was always just her, and my dad, her, and my dad, her, and my dad. You know, and then I mean they would go out, but it would be like the family events. You know, I don't ever remember them hanging out with friends.
Friends.
Yeah, with friends. So it's just family.
Their family were their
Hmm.
friends.
Yeah.
Is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think they did that when they were younger. They did because I saw pictures, you know, with them like out and when before they had us, you know. But I think once they had us, of course, they were older when they had us too. They were in their late 30s when they had us, you know. So
Okay. Um, so for now, what what steps are you taking currently to take care of your mother?
um, just making appointments for her. She just had cataract surgery on one eye. She's gonna have it on the other. Next step is like her teeth. Um, you know, just trying to. They also suggest for her to see, you know, talk to somebody like counseling.
Mm.
So I'm trying to look into that. She's not a big person to like talk about her feelings though either, but I think it would help her. You know, sources like that, or even if they have like senior. I wish they had like adult daycare, like where they can go, we can drop her off somewhere, or somebody can pick her up. She's hanging out there for the during the
Yeah,
day, you
yeah.
know. So I don't know if they have any in here in Waco like they do
Um,
down there in
yeah,
Westport.
I will disclose that
Mm-hmm.
my my grandmother had that. They would pick her up in the morning,
Yeah, I figure.
take her to the adult daycare. I mean,
Lotaria.
and you know that I would even, you know,
Go with her.
sometimes I would I'd drop her off and then
Mm-hmm.
go meet her for lunch,
Yeah.
play bingo with her,
Yeah.
and then leave, and then come pick her up again.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea,
Yeah.
but that's you know we both know your mom. We know it's all it's up to her if she
Yeah.
would
She
want to do
wants to.
that because
Because you know she doesn't like to do anything unless I'm there. Same thing like kind of like with
okay
my dad
so
and my grandma. Nobody's there, then she don't like doing things by herself.
okay so let's talk about steps of getting her to you know what would the steps look like to you if you did get her to go to a daycare? How would you approach that to
I would
her?
I would say, Mom, you know, let me come with, and if they allow me to, I'll come with you the first couple of times.
Hmm.
You know, that way, you know, walk around. We can, you know, meet people. You know, that way when you come in by yourself, you already know people here. You know, I think that would. I don't know if they'll let me, but
Well, no,
yeah,
you know, one of the steps we had to take to look at for my grandmother to go was to make sure that the insurance covered it.
yeah,
You know,
oh yeah,
so they don't have to pay out of
hmm
pocket.
yeah,
But I, I lost my mom, so, and Pop, he's a lone wolf out there.
Yeah.
So, I can disclose that I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it's like to have an aging parent like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do worry about my father. I call him, I tell him, but every time I call him, all he ever says, everything's fine, everything's fine.
Yeah.
So, you know, you said that you're there for her. You have a support system. You've got your aunt, your uncle. You've got me. You've even Jose, Maria, your cousins. But may I ask you what would happen if, or what happens when you cannot be there? When you cannot be there, like everybody, because Cynthia and Loopy go out of town, Maria's. I mean, what happens?
Well,
then?
there's times where I'll have to reschedule.
Okay.
There's times where I've reached out to my brother to see if he could take her, but he can. He's busy or does something else or whatever. He has something else to do. He does travel a lot though too. Because he's a traveling pastor, or traveling minister. So they do travel a lot. Um, One good thing about they've been coming down here to my brother's church, which is I'm kind of glad because at least my mom gets to see him when they at least do that. But it's just for the day. But to me, if you can make time to do that, take an extra day where you can stay here and spend time with your mom and have the grandkids spend time with the grandma. You know.
So I'm trying to, like when I asked about what steps, I mean, have y'all talked about taking the steps to, getting her active and getting her out more and I mean, do you have a plan? Is there?
No, and I need to sit down with. I think we all just need to have a meeting. My brother, my aunt, and my mom, and you, my wife, and then just talk about what she needs, what she's gonna need, and she's not getting any younger. Um, she's starting to even her walk. She's real careful, cautious how she walks because she can almost trip. She's fallen a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm afraid the next time she falls, she might break something, and we don't want that. It's going to be even worse. Um, she even thought about trying to find moving over here with us, but have her own apartment.
Oh yes,
yeah,
complex.
She was asking how much is it for a one bedroom, but she can't afford that. I mean, she would be able to probably make rent, but then she won't be able to pay the light, any of that right now.
Well, I know we did ask her to come live with us, and that was a hard no.
Yeah.
So.
She said she'll think about it. I don't know. There's sometimes where she says, "Okay, well, you know what? I think I am," because she gets, they're sisters, so they get on each other's nerves. There, my aunt can be. She's also going through menopause, so her demeanor, like the way she talks to people, it can, she's got a stern face, like she's being rude, and my mom hates that, and I tell my mom, don't take it to heart. It's not. She doesn't just do it to you. She even does it to her own kids and her husband. I've seen it. But my mom doesn't like that. I just want to slap her sometimes.
Well, at least she's still got some fight in her.
And they talk to her too. That's what I like about it. Like even my cousin Jose, which is my aunt Cynthia's son, the one that sometimes he stays at the house too. So but he goes to counseling, and he even talks to my mom about seeking help and talk about your problems, because you bottle it up all inside and you keep it in, and you're not, then you all of a sudden get mad and he bust, so.
I will disclose this part. If I don't talk, if I'm overwhelmed or just burnt out and I don't even cry it out or something, and I just keep it bottled up,
Yeah.
I will snap.
Yeah.
But I think that's anybody. Just some more take longer to snap than others.
Yeah.
I mean, that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing about your mom, is it so? Let's.
Oh, and she doesn't go anywhere either. I mean, I don't know if I don't think I mentioned that, but I mean, I don't want to say she doesn't go anywhere, but I mean, majority of the time, that's all she does all day. Same thing, same routine every day. I mean, when they, like, my niece or whatever has, basketball game or whatever, they do take her to those, and she does go to church, but that's it, unless we invite her, she comes with us, but yeah.
So she doesn't drive.
So she doesn't drive. Even though I think
I
she
remember
needs to
she
start.
used to.
Yeah.
But she doesn't drive.
She doesn't. Because she's afraid that she's like, I don't. Everything's changed. I don't. What if I get lost somewhere? It's like, Mom, you got a cell phone. I track you on my phone so I can know where you're at. If you get lost, bam, I know where to find you. So. And then her hearing too. She doesn't have good hearing, so I think that's another thing that scares her, that she might not be able to hear a car. I mean, a horn, or.
Okay. What else? Is there anything else on your mind?
The hearing, that's another, about her hearing too. So that's another reason why she doesn't like being around big crowds, because sometimes it's hard for her to understand the conversation, and so she just sits there because she feels like she's not being part of the conversation. And my family, they're loud, and if everybody's all talking at one time loud, it's hard for her to understand. So I mean, she's got better hearing aids, and then she does like them,
so at least that part
is
working.
It's working, yeah.
For her.
Because she would get real. I mean, I remember she'd get real frustrated because she couldn't hear, or she could hear it, but it just sounded a whole bunch of like people just mumbling.
No, I could tell she liked them because I took her to that
Yeah,
appointment.
you did.
And when she put them on, her eyes just lit up like it was Christmas. Like, oh my God, like
how much clearer it was.
Yeah, how much clearer, but it was too loud. So the doctor had to turn it, turn it a little bit down, and then she was and we walked out of there. She was so happy, like I can hear, I can hear, I can hear. So I think little, to tackle everything at once can be very overwhelming, and I hear that in your voice. So that's why I say steps. If you have a plan and you take steps one by one, it becomes a little easier, and it becomes a little less pressure. I really can't say anything about your brother. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I don't know anything other than that you're correct. He has not been here. So he really doesn't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on in his life after he stepped down.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? I don't know. So, okay. We've talked about why you came in. We've talked about, what it would look like, what it would look like if you got some help for your mom. We talked about what steps are you doing to take care of your mother. We talked about what happens when you cannot be there. So it's great that you are there for her as much as you can be. I mean, not every mother gets that. Not every mother gets to have children that are there for her no matter what. And you are committed to that. I see that. I really do. And I admire you for that. So, yeah, like I said, we talked about the steps and one of them is getting her out of the house and looking for help. So, um, I think, like you said, calling the insurance and things like that, and see what she's eligible for, what would they cover, is a great idea. I think that you coming in and and taking the time to do this with me, I really hope that this is not just something that you're helping me with. I hope that you really think about this.
Oh yeah.
And and that you do follow through that plan.
Yeah.
Um,
I know there was I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been at Caritas. Somebody had a program, but it was a list of every kind of like different kind of helps in the city, and I think I saw something for seniors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but it had like stuff for children and then stuff for like if you've been abused or homeless, and then it had another like senior section. I think it had different. Maybe I can look into see if they have adult daycares here, because I haven't heard of any. I've heard like senior livings, but I don't know about like adult daycares where you can take them.
Well, I mean, like I said, it sounds like you've already been taking some steps,
Yeah.
right? But now, we'll see. The next time I see you, we'll see how you follow through.
Yeah.
If you follow through, and that your mom agreed to some of these services.
Yeah.
Because it everything's being done for her is what I'm hearing, is what I heard. So I don't think that's good. I mean, if not, I'm going to disclose that I don't think that would be good for me when I get to that age. It wasn't good for my grandmother.
Yeah.
And actually, we didn't have problems of getting her out. She wanted to get out. It was my grandfather didn't want to leave, and then he would get mad that she would go.
Out,
yeah. And then, at their age, he's still thinking that she's going to see a boyfriend, and so I know it can be difficult to get these seniors out, but it's also, I think it's also a necessity to get them out once they've done their work, they've done their job, they've
lived their life,
and now it's time to go out and have fun, whatever that may look like for your mom. And I hope that that she does get to that point for you. We pretty much talked about everything, about your mom, steps and goals, and what would be your biggest goal
for my mom?
Mm-hmm.
Just to get her the help that she needs.
Like what kind of help?
Or I don't want to say like making her, because she's not very happy right now, but try to make her as happy as we can. Like,
so first step, counseling services?
I think counseling, yep.
Okay.
Counseling, and then the next would be like for her to spend time with her grandchildren a little bit more. Telling her to go up, hey, you know what? Here's the weekend. Here's a free weekend. Go up there and spend it with your grandchildren, Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's just wrap it up real quick. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, we talked about what's going on. We talked about getting your mom the help she needs. The steps you do to take care of your mother. When what happens when you cannot be there. You told me about yourself, where you work and the stress that you have at work between your mom and your wife, me. I'm sorry. But I think if you take those steps that you mentioned, that you came up with, I think you'll be all right. Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any questions?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for doing this assignment with me. I think it was helpful
Yeah.
for both of us.
Yes, it was.
And I wish the best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.